So the Twitch CEO has officially joined the Kai Cenat hate train. Now, I knew the hating on Kai was really bad, but I never thought I would see it get so bad to the point where the literal CEO is actually hating on him. If you don't know where these allegations stem from, there was this clip where Kai had him on his Mafiathon 3 to where he asked like who the top streamers was, who was on the Mount Rushmore of streaming, which he initially put him on.
Your personal.
Ooh. Mount
Your opinion.
Rushmore streamer. So now, because you have to go back in time, right? Okay. So obviously Kai's there, right? And if you're going to Mount Rushmore streamers, obviously I think Ninja.
Okay.
Has to be there, right?
Yep.
Those are two easy ones. As always with these things, sometimes the first two are easy, and then I think you probably put Pokey there as, in other words, as a female streamer. If you go back in time, there's so many, there's so many now. It's tough for me to pick another person now, if that makes sense. Actually, I'll throw, the other person now, obviously, that is trying to change it like you with Speed, right? And, because he's constantly, much like yourself, always.
Now, I think that the CEO made some fair takes in this clip, and he said some names who definitely deserve to be there. But later, he ended up retracting those statements, kind of indirectly, when he ended up saying this.
It probably should be more historical.
Yeah.
In other words, Kai is big now, but arguably it's like, now he asked me, so I had to put him on there. But arguably it's like, look, you're great, but you can't be on the Mount Rushmore.
I'm sorry if I speak a little passionately during this video, but it's nothing I can't stand more than when somebody straight up downplays somebody's success or somebody straight up hates on somebody. Because you have to look at it this way. No matter how you feel about Kai, you think he's the greatest guy, you hate him, you don't like him, you think he's an industry plant, whatever. Kai Cenat is the most subscribed to streamer in history of the entire platform. And that's something that you can never take away from him. I'm not saying that to like Meat Rod, to Glaze, anything of the sort. That's something objectively that you can never take away from Kai. And the thought of the actual CEO of the platform saying that and trying to downplay him really shows a lot about him. I get it even from the standpoint of saying I don't like Kai's content. Even me personally, I wouldn't say Kai makes my favorite content. I would never sit down and watch a whole Kai stream. But like I've said in some of my other videos, I pretty much attest that to I'm not the target audience of it. And if something is working for somebody, I can never downplay them or fault them for doing what's working. And again, like I said, I don't have to like them. I don't have to like the content, but I have to respect the fact that he is the most subscribed to person on the platform that has ever been there. And I ain't gonna even lie, I don't even understand why the CEO would go back and say something like that, especially when Kai is such a valuable asset to them. And Kai has shown such brand loyalty to Twitch as a whole. If you don't know, Kai Cenat literally got offered $100 million to stream Mafiathon 3 on Kick, which he refused because he said he wanted to stay loyal to Twitch, only for the Twitch CEO to go back and say something like this. It's kind of similar to what I said in like my quiet quitting video. You really have to realize a lot of the time that to these companies, bro, you are nothing more than a number. To be completely fair, I do definitely think that Kai gets away with a lot on his streams for sure. Because there's a lot of stuff that's said and a lot of stuff that's done that the average streamer would get banned for, that Kai has been able to persist and keep going on just because of who he is. So I don't think they're dumb in that way and knowing that he's good for their pockets. But the fact that, again, you would go somewhere and downplay him is crazy. Now, all the other streamers he was naming in that clip, great content creators. Ninja, Queso, those are great content creators. You can't take it away from them either. I have to respect them as well. Even though I have never watched a Ninja stream, I do watch Queso videos on YouTube though. I can never downplay those people. And I definitely cannot make a Mount Rushmore without putting the most successful person on it. That's literally equivalent to me in basketball making a Mount Rushmore and not putting LeBron James or Michael Jordan. They're literally two of the most successful people in NBA history. And that's not an opinion, that's nothing. That's just straight fact. And it's the same way with Kai Cenat. It is a fact. He's the most successful person ever on the platform. At first, I kind of applauded Kai for not going to kick and not just seeing the money and doing something just for the love of it. But now I'm really thinking that, honestly, he should have probably went over there and took the deal, because obviously the people behind his platform don't value him, because if they did, they would never say something like this. And I hate to make it a black and white thing, but I really don't feel like it's any other way to view this. Because like I said, if Kai was like just a pretty successful person on the platform, that would be one thing. Had his little motion, had his little wave, and people were kind of paying attention, I would get it, saying, you know, you just kind of coming into the game, you can't really be on the greatest of all time list yet. But that's not the reality. Nobody has seen the same amount of success as him. And not only with that, he's completely changed how people look at streaming as a whole. A lot of people got into streaming and started watching streaming specifically because of Kai Cenat. I've told y'all in previous videos, I used to watch streaming back in the day when it was like Ninja. I used to watch the Black Okage, people like that. But when Kai Cenat started streaming, started bringing these celebrities, everybody started being interested. He brought so many more eyes to the platform, and he made so many more people be interested in actually streaming. People who would have never been interested previously. So how can you say somebody who changes the way that a whole like genre is being viewed is not on the Mount Rushmore? He literally changed the game. He's like Michael Jackson of streaming. And again, I'm not trying to say that to glaze or meat ride, but that is just the fact of what he did. I don't understand why people try to hate on Kai. Well, I kind of do, because people like to say like even his Mafia-thon 3, like they feel like it was a begathon. People feel like it wasn't as entertaining as the last one because it wasn't as genuine and stuff like that. But honestly, in my opinion, I believe Kai is doing what he's supposed to do. Kai has obviously gotten a lot bigger over the years. And with becoming bigger, he's gotten sponsors and he's gotten a whole team behind him who are advising him to do stuff and things that he just can't say or do anymore to avoid losing things like this. And that's just part of being successful. Some of you probably like watching my videos because I don't have a team behind me. I'm a dude in my dark room who could literally just give my opinion. But if I was ever to get on Kai's level, God willing, then you don't think I would switch up too? Not even switch up in a way of selling out, but I might have to switch up my content. I might not be able to say certain things anymore, but that's just the name of the game. It's weird to me that fans want people to become successful. They want them to elevate to the next level, but they don't want to see the changes that come with that. And I never understood the thing about Kai being a sellout anyway, because Kai has never done anything like humiliating. He's never degraded himself. He never degraded somebody else as a result of him becoming more popular. He might just be a lot more media trained now, but that doesn't mean that he's selling out and not being true to himself. I've had a conversation like this before, even in the terms of professionalism. It's a way to be genuine and true to yourself, but also display a version of yourself that is super professional and will ultimately elevate you to different heights. And that's all Kai has done. As he elevated to different heights, to different platforms, he had to move a certain way because of it. And all that is a sign of success. Do you not want him to be successful? Do you want him to lose his sponsors? Because if you genuinely do, then that's just hate. That's all that is. Now again, if he was putting people down as a result, if he was talking bad about people, or just ultimately just losing his identity, then yes, I can see you not liking him because of it. Another reason people don't like Kai is because of that school thing, which, like I said in another video, building a school is not something that you just do overnight. You don't just snap your fingers and a school is just there the next day. Do you know how long it takes to build this stuff? Or did you just want him to throw a shack together? I remember when I was in high school, my high school wanted to do like one of those big screens where it shows the like instant replay and stuff. And it literally took them a year and a half to build it. They talked about it when I was a freshman. They didn't finish it to my junior year. And I know that's not related, but the reason I bring it up is to say that you don't build stuff overnight. Kai has brought on people multiple times to talk about the plans and how it's just not something that's just gonna happen in a blink of an eye.
So I hear people have been asking, why haven't you yet built the new school? I'm not sure people realize what it takes to actually launch a school, especially when you build it. You need to find the land, you need to buy the land, you need to get authorization from the government to build a school. You need to actually build a school. And then you need to hire your teachers and get your accreditation from the ministry. So for us who have launched 16 schools in 10 different African countries, we know it can't take less than 2 years. It's impossible, especially if you want to do things right, and we want to do things right.
Absolutely. Do things right by complying with all legal and regulatory requirements in Nigeria is important to ensure that we have a school that is sustainable and lasts for posterity.
The fact that he even chose to do it, voluntarily chose to do it, says a lot about him. So before you go judging him, saying that he's not doing it, think about the time and preparation that it takes to do something like this. And I don't even understand why people try to act like he's some type of bad guy either. Do you not realize even with his platform, he's been able to bring all of his friends and a few people he's picked up along the way, like Reggie, Rakai, Ray, and completely change their life and give them a platform and the opportunity to do something completely different and elevate to heights that they might have not done so on their own? How do you fault a guy who paves the way and brings all of his friends with him? It's so weird to me. I just wish people would stop this. And I wish people would stop hating on somebody for being successful. Honestly, it's just like that old saying says, the more money you make, the more problems you're gonna have. And I think it's just a parallel with success. The more success you have, the more people are going to hate on you. It's sad, but that's just the reality of the situation. If Kai continues to grow and prosper, when he hits 2 million, 3 million subs on Twitch, people are gonna hate more and more and more. And look, they can say he's view botting, they can say he got a team behind him, they can say industry plant, whatever they want. But something you can never take, once again, I just want to point this out so much in this video, because people who hate on him and criticize him and say different stuff, you have to realize you can never take away the fact that he is the most successful person on that platform. Simple. That's really all I gotta say about that. Please stop hating on Kai. And the fact that the Twitch CEO hated on Kai, bro, that show how they do us, bro. That's crazy. How can you not put him on your Mount Rushmore? What were you thinking? It don't matter, bro. Even like I said, I don't watch streaming, and Kai, you for sure on my Mount Rushmore. You gotta be on my Mount Rushmore. Just like MJ and LeBron will be on my Mount Rushmore for basketball. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Every bit of support is much appreciated. I almost forgot. One more thing before you go.
Bye.